click on show all scores, loading scores, and look, our scores have been. Hello friends, welcome. In this video we are going to make the Firebase based leaderboard system for our Godot project. It will be an online leaderboard, and I was compelled to research about the Firebase and making a leaderboard on it because our favorite Godot friendly leaderboard system, the provided by the Silent Wolf, went silent for about a week. And as you guys know, I make games in Godot, and once the leaderboard went out, I didn't know what to do, so I researched about the Firebase, and I was able to make a leaderboard from the Firebase for my Godot game, and here is how we can do it. So let's start. First of all, let me show you my demo scene here for the leaderboard. So I've got a leaderboard node here. So I've made a couple of nodes here, the input for name and the score. So we'll be using a simple leaderboard here for just putting up the name and the score in our Firebase database, and then we will have a submit a button here to submit the score, and we can also update our score. The same score can be updated, so we don't have to make different many scores for the same player, so we can just update our score. Okay, and next if I click on the show all scores, we'll be able to see all the scores in our database. And this is one of the scene for our demo. And next here I've got the place where we can show all the leaderboard scores. So the components are arranged like this. So this is the label, this all score, the heading we can call it. Next, in the horizontal container, I placed the rank container here, and inside here we'll be adding more ranks here. And next we have got the name container, so where we will be adding the names of the players, and at last the score container where we will be adding the scores of those players. And that's about our scene. And now let's learn how to create a Firebase project first. Yeah, so let's go towards the Google, and this is the Firebase console, and it's the home page. And first of all, you need to learn how to make a Firebase project. So let's create one. Okay, so you can just click on the create new Firebase project. So let me click here, and you have to write a name of your project. I will just write what do I want to write? Godot, Leaderboard. Okay, great. So this will be my project name, Godot Leaderboard. So just click and continue. Great. And you can enable Gemini in Firebase, so that Gemini AI will help you if you got into a confusion. Okay, so let's continue. And next just click and continue, and that's it. And you need to actually select an account, your account. So I've already have an account, and let's create the project. So the preparing your project, please wait Godot Leaderboard. So my project name is Godot Leaderboard, and it's been created. What does it mean? Provisioning resources. So, and now within a minute, I think our project will be created, and it's almost finishing up. Great, your Firebase project is ready. Let's click on continue. Okay, we have created the Godot Leaderboard project. Yeah, and that's great. And now I think we need to click on add app so that we can make an app. Okay, so once you create a project, you need to create an app. Or do we have can we make Firebase data here? Let me see. If you don't have to make an app, I think you can create a Firebase data store. So let's see. Okay, we can create a database, but let's make the app first. Yeah, let's go as the rule. So let's create an app, add an app, and it will be for the web. So let's click on the web. Yeah, and let's write the name of the app. I'll just call it Leaderboard board. That's it. And let's register. Okay, it's registering, and that's great. It includes your project ID. Yeah, your project ID. We'll need a project ID, our project ID for accessing the firestore database, but we can find the project ID from the console. So let's not worry about it. Let's just click on continue to console. Okay, we have created our leaderboard app, and that's it. We don't have to do anything. And let's go to build and just click on the firestore database. We actually have to make a database to store our score data. Yeah, so let's click on firestore database. That's great, and we just have to click on create database. So it's creating. Select the edition. We will just select the standard edition for our product, and let's just select the location of our database server. For us, we will use the default name 5 United States. Yeah, the location. If you guys want a local server, there can be one within your region, but for the sake of this tutorial, we'll just use this one, and just click on next and start in production, not in production. So we will just start in a test mode. Yeah, so this thing that you guys are seeing is called the rule. So right now it's in the test mode. That means we can actually read and write and do anything right now to our database for about 30 days. Okay. And after we have made everything and we will have to change this rule. So let's first of all create our database now. Click on create. So it's creating our database. Takes a little bit of time, not that much, to create a database. Setting up security rules, and that's it. We are done. Yeah, and in a database for Firebase, we have something called the collection. Okay, so we need to make a collection. So let's make a collection from our console here, and let's see what does it look like. Okay, our data, and the default, you can see this default, it's the database name is default. Okay, by default it just places the database name as default. So let's just click on start collection, and let's give a name. So we will store scores. That's why our collection ID will be as CORES, scores. Okay, you guys keep track of this. So we will be scoring scores. That's why I just write scores for our collection ID. Click on next, and now to actually create a collection, we need to actually pass some data for our sample project. Okay, so let me just create a document ID. So document ID is a unique ID for our data. So let me just click on auto ID, so that it will just automatically create the document ID, which will be very unique for our data. And next, let's store our player name. So in the field player player underscore name. Okay, so we'll make a field called player underscore name, which will be of type string, and let's store a value for now, JOH and zone. So zone will be the player name, and let's add another field, and here we are going to write score. So we will be storing score as CORE score, and the type will be actually number. Okay, so we will store a number, and for this one I'll just store 22. Okay, so the zone has the score 22, and these two are just the fields we want in our leaderboard. Yeah, and if you want to record the timestamp, you can, but the Firestore database will automatically store the timestamp for you. You don't have to store the time. Okay, so let's click on save, and look, we have created the collection called scores, and we have our document ID, and these are our data. Yeah, so we have got one data, that is player name is John, and the score is score 22. Yeah, so these are the datas, these are the scores. Yeah, now instead of using our console to create the datas like this, we have to use the Godot, our Godot application to store the datas, actual datas. And be very careful. So we have already created a collection called scores, and we will be storing everything in this scores collection. Okay, other datas, and that's it. We have created everything. We have made our project, we have made the app also, and we have made our Firestore database for storing our scores, and that's it. Now let's get back to the Godot, and let's just store the scores in this database. So let me get back to my project. So here is our project. Yeah, and this is the scene, and let's go on the scripts. Okay, so in my scripts I have nothing right now. Yeah, it's just empty. We have got the underscore function, underscore ready function, and underscore process function that we haven't used at all. So let's start. First of all, let me go to my sample project and copy some of the codes. Okay, so first of all, let me just copy these 3 codes. So these are just variables that I'm been using. Let me just copy it and get back to our project here, and let me just paste it here. Paste. So I have stored a project ID, and the collection ID is the scores, the same as what we created just minutes before, and the project ID will be different. So let's go and search our project ID from the Firebase console. So let me go to the Google, and where would be my project ID? Let's see. Let me click on the where would it be? Data. Okay, let's go to project overview, and do we see anything here? No. Project setting, let's go to project settings. Okay, we have got the project ID here. Okay, so this is the project ID. Let me copy it, copy, and let's go back to my code here, and let me just paste my project ID here. Control V, paste. So this is the project ID that I just created. Great. And this is the collection ID. You guys know I created the scores collection. Yeah, and after that this score underscore ID will be used afterwards. Okay, save it, and now let me get back to the sample code again, and let's just let's drag all the required nodes inside our script. So let me grab the name underscore input, score underscore input, submit score button, update score button, and then show all score button. That's a great. Next, do I have a feedback level? Yeah, let me just grab the feedback level 2. Great. And other means, yeah, these containers, rank content, name container, and the last one, score container. Great. So I've got everything here, and now the thing is, to when we submit the score, that means let me go to the switch to the 2D view here. So when I just click on this submit score button, the name and the score will be submitted to our Firestore database. So let's make that happen here. For that, let me just click on the submit score button here, and let's just connect the signal. So go on the nodes tab and let me just connect the signal. Click on connect. Great. So on submit score button pressed, we need to first of all read this text from the name input and the score input. So let's create some variables. I think I'll copy and paste the whole code here and I'll explain it. It will be much faster. So let me get back to my sample code, and where is it? The submit score. Okay, submit score function. So let me copy all the things from here. God, where is it? Good. Copy it. And let me get back here and paste to our project. Paste it. And let me explain you everything. One thing, we don't have the user underscore input. Instead, we have name underscore input. Okay, let me just make it name underscore input. Name underscore input. Great. So let me explain you the whole thing. Yeah, once we press the submit button, so we'll create a variable called player underscore name, which will store the text that has been written in the name input field. After that, we will just create a score variable and store the score as same like that. And next, we have got a URL variable, so we need the address of our firestore database, and this is the address. Okay, so I got about 5 minutes chat with the Gemini API, I mean the AI, and I've got this address. Yeah, so it doesn't, in the console it doesn't show you directly, so I just chatted with the Gemini API and I got the address. So address goes like this. Okay, https is to / firestore.googleapis.com, yeah, /version1 projects, yeah, and / and after that you will have your own project IDs and other things. The first thing is here you are going to add your project ID that we just copied. So we have our project ID here. So in this place, our project ID will be put in place like this, yeah, using the percentage sign. So our project ID will be placed here, and after that we have another what we should write is / and after that we should write database, and after that the database name is on bracket inside default, and after / and after that documents, and after that we have to write our collection ID. Okay, that we do have it right here, the collection ID scores. So that's the URL. Okay, you guys remember it, and if you don't get the URL, you can chat with the Gemini AI for about 5 minutes and it will give you the URL. And next we made the headers variable. So in the headers, we will just write here content type application JSON /JSON. And next, do we need a timestamp? No. So let me delete the timestamp right now. Great. And this one also, we don't need timestamp here. And any other thing? Okay. So next, we just make our data. So we need to send our data like this. Okay, we make a dictionary variable, and then inside there is a fields, okay, property, and then inside here another dictionary. We send our player underscore name and score. Okay, make sure these two fields are exactly as you guys made it in the, I think we made it in the Firebase console. Okay, so player underscore name and score. And next, how we send the data is like this. Okay, so in the player underscore name, inside the value, we have to create another variable, I mean the dictionary, where it points out the property will be string underscore value. Okay, be very careful, the S is small letter. Okay, string value, and then we actually give our player name here. Okay, and for the score also same thing, and the score is actually numeric value, so we just specify here integer value, and here I made it string. If it's a number, then you have to actually make it a string first. Okay, and that's for the data to be sent. This is how we send the data. This is how we make it. And after we make it like this, we have to actually stringify it. Okay, we have to actually make all this data a string. So we have made a variable called body, and inside here we have made it a string. The data to be sent will be stringified like this. Okay, json.stringify, and you just place the variable name that holds here all data, formatted data. Okay, and next it's time to call the HTTP request to our database. For that we make a HTTP request node like this. Send underscore as score underscore request will be our variable that will store the HTTP request node, and then we add that child like this to our root node. Okay, add underscore child send score request, and after that we actually send the request like this. Okay, send score request dot request, and inside the brackets we send first of all the URL that we just made here. Okay, so you make the URL like this. Okay, you can directly write the URL from here, but I chose to use project ID and collection ID, store it first in our variables and then place it like this. Okay, if it's good for you, you can do it like this, or you can just directly type all the URL, and here you will be having your project ID instead of %n, and here instead of %s you will be having your collection ID, that is scores. And after that we send the URL here, and then after the header, and after here the method. So our method will be post, so we use like this http client dot method underscore post, and then we send our body or the data that we made. Okay, here, and that's it. And after that we also send some feedback to our client. Okay, we just say submitting score, and after the request has been gone, so we will receive a request completed signal. So we will wait for that signal so that it will just provide us some result. Okay, so we made a variable called result, and we awaited for that signal to complete. And after the signal has been completed, that means request has been gone and we have also received some of the result, we actually delete our send score node. Okay, send score request node, we delete it, we don't need it anymore. So we use q-free to delete our node. And next, after that, let's see what happens. I'll just comment it out, and I'll just print the whole result here. Okay, print print result result. Great, save it, and let's see what we get in our output screen here. Okay, so let me just play my Firebase LD scene, play it. Okay, we have got here. Okay, let's enter a score. First of all, let's write a name called Tom, all caps, and let me give him my score of 33. So let's submit the score if anything happens. So this is the feedback level, we also get the feedback. So it says submitting score. Okay, and it's done. I think we have got a data here, look, and the data looks like this. So the data comes in an array. First of all, the first thing is 0, the first result, and then second item is 200, that's the response code. 200 means it's good, and then third thing is what how the data looks like. So it tells about the data, the encoding system, everything, and the third one or the fourth one is the data itself, and it looks like a bunch of numbers. Why is it? We don't have a bunch of numbers in the data, we also have the name and other things, but it looks like this cause it's encoded. We need to decode it actually. Okay, so this is what the data looks like. So let's separate the data and let's make it more understandable. So instead of printing out the whole result, let's me just comment out the old code here and what I've done here. So the response code, we will get the response code from this array. The first item means actually the second item of the array. So if you look at here, the second item is the code here, response code, it's 200. So we compare it first. Okay, so if response code equals to 200, then we are good to go, it's good. Okay, that's why we just do these things here. So let me go to else first. Okay, if the response code is not 200, then there is some kind of server error, then we just do this thing. Okay, else push error for now, for the sake of tutorial, and I'll just write server error in the feedback text. But if the response code is okay, that means good, 200, then we just write score submitted in the feedback. And after that, we also do make a variable called RESP. Okay, it's a short form for response. And what did I do? Look, I just first of all decoded the whole data, this data. Okay, this lies in the third part of the array, actually the fourth index. Okay, 3 means third index. So this will be actually decoded by using this function called get_string from UTF-8. Okay, so this will decode the whole these whole numbers into actual data, and then after that I will also use JSON parse string, so that it will just parse the string into making an actual data or the dictionary for us to read. Okay, and after that I have just done here the score ID, which I created here earlier, variable score ID. Okay, this score ID will be storing the document's name. So I will show you that one also after I run another time this code. Okay, so let's run it again and let's see what actually happens. Let me just play, and let's give another score. What do we Jerry? Let me give it a score of 55, and let's submit the score. Submitting score, look, and we have submitted the score. Great. And let's look at the output here. So we can look at the output here. Now the output is much decoded and we can read everything here. Okay, so where is the code first? Oh my god, go to the script. Okay, here. Yeah, so we have printed out the response here, RESP, after I have just parsed everything. Yeah, the string has been parsed and it looks like this. First of all, the name comes. Okay, the field is name, and it has given us the document ID. The whole everything is here, the path of the document projects. Then this is our project ID, if you guys remember. Yeah, Godot Leaderboard something dash slash database slash default slash document, and this is the score ID, scores, and this is actually the document ID. So it just gives us the whole path in the name field. That's what I stored here. Okay, so I made a variable called score ID and I stored this score, I mean the path of this score, in the score ID field, so that I will utilize it to update a score. And next I printed out the whole response, and that's what it is. Okay, so first of all it will just give us the path of the whole document in the name field, and after that there is a fields field. Okay, and inside here our actual data lies. Okay, so look, first there is the score, so we gave the 55, it just gives us back that thing. Okay, and it also says, look, integer value 55. Okay, that's how we sent it, integer value 55, and it gives us like this. And look, player name, string value, it's a string, and the name is Jerry. And we don't have to create timestamps because it already creates us timestamps and give us back like this. Okay, created time and updated time. So if you want a time also, so you can get it here. You don't have to create a separate field for timestamp, and that's what we get after we have submitted the score. So we have submitted the score, guys. So let's see in our Firebase console if the data has came or not. Okay, so let me go to Google and let's go to Firebase firestore database, and here we've got the scores collection, and we have already got this one Tom 33 and another data zone 22 that we created from here, and the last one Jerry 55 we just created. And look, so we have already submitted the score has been in the database. Great. And the next thing is what, let's update our database too. Yeah, so let me go back to our project, not this one, okay, this one. So let me go to the 2D view here. So we are able to submit our score. So if you want to update your score, what do we do? So let's update the score too. Okay, so the same player can score multiple times, they can score more high scores. That's why we might have to update the score too. Yeah, so let's do that. For that, first of all, let me go to the update score button, and let's just connect the node pressed. Let me just connect it. Okay, we have connected the pressed signal, and here we are going to update all the score. So that's why I actually stored the score underscore ID here, okay, to actually update the score. So we actually, this is a unique name for our data, that the particular data of that player. So if we store it, yeah, right now we just store in the variable. So you guys might have to store in your actual game in a different variable that will be persisted even if you turn off your game or add the app. But for right now, I'll just use this variable, score ID variable, okay, to get access to this data, and we'll just store different score. Okay, so let's do that. For that, so I will just copy and paste the code and explain everything. Okay, so let me go here, and where is the update score function? Get score. Okay, update score. So let me now copy the whole thing first, copy it, get back to our project, and here I'm going to paste it, paste, and great. So let's see. First of all, we created a variable called score that will just store the whatever that is written in the score input. Yeah, and after that I have printed out the score. So let's just keep it, and next we don't need timestamp. Let me just delete it. Great. And here we have got our URL for our database. Okay, so for the URL, so we have actually got up to this, yeah, firestore googleapis.com/v1, and after that we have actually stored all the path of that document in the score ID. That's why I did like this. Okay, %s and %bracket score underscore ID, that will attach everything, every other path here. Okay, so this path, the whole path is here. Okay, and I stored in the score underscore ID. Great. And after that I will also add in this whole URL, I will add another thing just to be safe. Okay, so what did I add is update marks dot field paths equal to score. So we are going to update only the scores, so I explicitly specify that, and update marks dot field path equal to timestamp. So for our case I haven't used timestamp, so let me just get rid of this. Okay, that's it. Let's see, field path score. Okay, let me delete it to here. Okay, like this. So what does it do is it makes the URL for this specific score only. We are going to update only score. Okay, so this thing will make here we will update only scores. And after that we made the header same application/session, and next the data to be sent. Okay, so I'm not sending the timestamp, let me delete it. So we are just going to send the score, not the player name. So it's an integer value, and yeah, the type will be integer value, and we will just convert it to string if it's a integer. Okay, right now it's an integer, but for the sake of this tutorial I'll just keep it like this, because our score will be in integer if it's our real game. And that's the data to be sent. And next, what do? We do the same thing. We'll stringify our data and we store in the body. And next we make another HTTP request. So this time we call it update score request, and we add it to our root node. Okay, add child update score request, and after that we send the request from here, update equal request dot request, and we just send the URL, the header, and the method will be this time method underscore patch. Okay, because we are updating our document, that's why we need to send the patch method. And this is the data body. Okay, the stringified data. And at last, what do we do after sending the data? We just give a feedback to our user. We just say updating score, and after that we'll just wait for the request to complete with this signal, update score request that request completed, and we'll await. And after that, once the request signal is completed, whatever comes back we will store in the result. Yeah, and after it has came, we also delete our HTTP request node that we had just created to send our data like this. Yeah, queue free. And next, what do we do is, we already know, I've already shown you, the result one will store the response code. So if the response code equal to 200, great, we are good to go. If it's not 200, then we will just push error and we will just send the feedback here, could not update. And if the response code is 200, that means it's good. What do we do is, we just do JSON parse string, and the result 3 will be actually the data, actual body of the data. Yeah, and we'll just print it out like this. For now we don't need it, because we actually know the score and we actually like to update that score in the database only. So we'll just print it out for our seeing or viewing. And next, in the feedback label, we'll just say score updated. Okay, now let's see, save it, and let's see if you can update the score or not. So let me just play our scene. Okay, if I remember, okay, no, first of all I'll just have to submit the score. Okay, let me just submit the score first, and the name will be Rose. So Rose has scored 77, and let me submit the score. Submitting the score, and the score has been submitted. Let's check at our Firebase console first. Okay, there's a new score here, or where is it? This one. Okay, Rose scored 77. Yeah, so let's get back to our project. Where is it? Okay, scene, and let's update this score now. So I will make it 99, and let me just click on update score. So it says updating score and score updated. And if we look at the output here, we can see the value Rose and the score is 99. Yeah, so the score has been updated. Let's see in our Firebase console. Okay, look, it's already updated 99. Yeah, and that's how we update our score. So the last thing we have to do is, we have to get all the scores to our leaderboard here. So let's do that. So let me stop the project and let's get all the scores from our database to our Godot project. So for that, let's go to the scripts, and where is it? Okay, so all scores button I'll add as a pressed signal here in the node. Connect the press signal. Connected. Okay, so once I click on this show all score button, so whole score should be loaded here. For that, I'll just copy the code and explain everything here. Okay, so let me go back to my sample code here, and where is it? Display score on get leaderboard button pressed. Get score. Where is get underscore score? Okay, this one. So let me grab this whole code, copy, get back to my code, I'm in project, and let me press everything out here. Great. And next, what is this? Okay, I haven't made a display scores function, so let me copy that display scores function too. It will be easier for me. Where is it? Okay, here is the display scores function. I'll just copy it and I'll explain you guys later what does it do. So let me just paste the display scores function. Good. Okay, now let's see what we have done so far. So once we click on the show all scores button, so we make another HTTP request node and we add to our root node here, this node, HTTP request node, and after that we create our URL for our database. Yeah, you guys know it, and it will add the project ID here in this place and the collection ID here in this place, and that's the URL. And next I have added a little bit of a query thing here, so I have ordered it by in descending order. Okay, I have ordered every score in descending order, so it if the score is higher it will come first and the lower scores will come at last. So what did I do is do question mark order by here and equals to, means this field, the score field, and this is for descending order. Okay, percentage 20DESC, and that's how we get the data everything in descending order. Great. And next what do we do is we just send the request like this. Okay, we don't need to pass any header for this request. We just do http underscore request. Inside we have already created the URL. We just send the URL here, and in the feedback level what do we do is we just say loading scores, and after that we create a result variable and we await for our request completed signal from the HTTP request node. And after the request has been completed and we got the result, we delete our newly created node, the HTTP request node. And after that what do we do is we just store the response code in the response code variable, and if it's 200, what did we do? We just store the actual data that's in the third index of the result array. Okay, we just store it like this in the body variable. And after that what did I do here? I made another variable called response underscore JSON, and I just stringified it again, okay, by decoding. So we actually need to decode the whole data using this function called get underscore string underscore form utf8. Yeah, and after that we stringify that data, means we pass that stringified data into dictionary, and we actually call the display scores function from here. Okay, and we actually pass the response underscore JSON dot documents array inside this display scores function. So let me just print it out first of all. What does it? So let me print out the whole response JSON and show you what does it shows first. Okay, and rest I will just make it, comment it out. Great. And next, if it's an error, so we do the same thing, we just say solve the error. Okay. And next, there is a display scores function that I will explain this later. Let's see what we get in the response underscore JSON. Okay, so let me save it and let me play it. Okay, if I click on the show all scores, then we need to see some result here. Okay, look here. Let me just stop it and let's see the output. Okay, what do we see is, first of all, we see the documents field. Okay, so this is the dictionary. Inside the dictionary there is the documents field which holds an array. So that's why I used here in the display scores, I just sent the response JSON.documents, and inside this array, look here, what do we get is, first of all, we get the name of that document, that is specific data, and it's filled score and player name, like that, created time, updated time, next another document, and it's the repetition of the similar type of data. Yeah, our scores. And that's what I did here. So let me just comment it out and let me just do this. Okay, so we called the function display underscore scores, and what did I do in here? So I passed the array. Okay, this array, whole array, this whole array is passed in this function. So, and I repeated every elements in this array. Okay, like this. So I created a variable for ranking it. So first of all, I created a I variable and I initialized it with 0, and inside the for loop, so I repeated the data, and in every entry we increase the I variable. So first of all, we make it 1, so that the first data will be the rank 1. Okay, because we actually arrange the data in descending order while retrieving the data. And after that, we created a variable doc underscore name. Okay, and what did we do is, we got the entry. The entry means the one item of the data's, okay, array. So if it's this one, yeah, doc name means the document ID, this ID. We also stored this document ID. So if you want to compare, we can use it. Right now I haven't used it, so I just stored it in this variable. Okay, but this thing hasn't been used, so this document path is stored in this place. And after that, the actual player name will be stored like this. Okay, so entry dot fields dot player dot string value. Look, if you look at here, first of all, we have the fields field here, and after that we have got the player name, player underscore name, and inside here there is something called string value. Okay, so this will point to this name rows. Okay, like this. And next one is for the scores. Do the same thing, entry fields score, and the score is actually the integer value here, so that's why, look, the integer value, and that points to 99, like this. Okay, so we retrieve the score like this. And after that, we also need to create a variable called rank, and I just make this integer variable into a string like this. So this will be, if it's the first time, the first loop, the name and the score will be from here, and the rank will be 1. Okay, and after that, I created a label node, like 3 label nodes here. Okay, r underscore label, n underscore label, and s underscore label. So these are for rank, name, and score. So I created 3 labels. And next, what did I do is, inside these containers, so the rank containers, we add these labels like this. Okay, rank container that add this label, the newly created label, another newly created label, another newly created label, And after that, what do we do is we just select the text property and we just store that variables in here. Okay, for rank level, we just store the rank in the text property. In the scores variable, we store scores, and for the n underscore level text, we store the player name. And that's it. And after that, what did we do is in the feedback level, all is code loaded. I just sent the feedback message also, and that's how we make a leaderboard. Let's see if it actually loads everything. So let me just play, and let me just click on show all scores, loading scores, and look, our scores have been loaded. Look, the first rank is the Rose, it's a 99 score. After that, second is Jerry, 55, and the third is Tom, 33, and the fourth is John, 22. And that's how we load all the scores, guys, and that's how we make the leaderboard. And the last thing, so we have created the Firebase database, and one thing was the security rule. Right now it's in the test mode, so let's actually make the security little bit tight so that it will be good for the security. Yeah, so everything is done in our Godot project. It's good to go, nothing to worry about. Yeah, we have made the leaderboard. And next, let's get back to the Firebase project. And here, after everything is done, we have made everything, we need to make our security rule. Okay, for that, let's go to up here, and there is something called the rules. And let's see our rule here. Okay, let me just close the Gemini AI right now. Okay, so right now the rule is like this: rule version 2, service cloud, firestore, and match database documents. And right now it's in this mode. Okay, we are able to read and write in this document up to about 1 month. Okay, so that's for the testing mode. And after you have completed everything in the testing mode, you need to write your own rule so that it will be a little bit of good security. So for that, let's write the rule. Okay, I have actually got the rule here. I'll just paste it. The rule looks like this. Where was the rule? Okay, here. Copy the rule. So I actually made the rule with the help of Gemini API. Okay, I also don't know how to write the rules. So let me just paste it. And what does it say? Look. So first of all, the similar things, rule version 2, yeah, and then the service cloud firestore, and next the match database documents, and next here is the rule. Okay, so we are able to match, we are only storing score and the score ID. Score ID means the document. Okay, that document only, that specific document. So we allow read for anyone who stores, or we allow anyone to read that score, any kind of score that we have stored in scores collection. And next, this will make it clear that we are only able to create player name and scores only. So I haven't stored timestamp, so let me just get rid of this like this. Okay, so we are only allowed to create player name and score data key or the field in our scores collection, so that if anyone finds out about your URL and they want to store many things, they will not be able to store that. And next, another is for update, allow update. And what are we allowing it? Only allowing scores to update. If you want to allow player to update their name, you can also include here. And I'll just get rid of this timestamp, we don't need it right now, like this. Okay, so they are only allowed to update score of that specific document, and that's it. And this one is for allowing read and write if false. If you add other collections later, you'll need to define a different rule or add to this rule. Okay, but for our case, for making the leaderboard, this much is the security that will allow us to store and read from the database. That's it, guys. We don't even need the authentication. And after that you have written the rule, you need to actually click on publish, and it's published. Now everything is good and your leaderboard is good to go. And that's it, guys. Thank you guys for watching this tutorial. If you guys like this, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.